welcome. Have you seen The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, The Book of Carol Trail? If you have, and you're excited to see what plot details were hidden in the trailer, stick around. Here's my breakdown. Now before we start, let me tell you that this will contain spoilers for AMC's The Walking Dead. Now that we got that out of the way, let's jump right into this.
Daryl Dixon? I heard you were dead.
So this first shot is Daryl carrying a guitar. That is something we haven't seen before, and who wouldn't want to see Daryl bash some heads in with a guitar? I know I would. On the other hand, you could think that, oh, he's gonna teach Laurent how to play guitar, but I don't think that's gonna be the case with Daryl. I think that guitar won't even get past the first walker he sees. Next up, we got Anna Valerie talking to Daryl. She's probably taking Quinn's place. You can clearly see that she's collecting just like Quinn did. Paintings, art, and all that crazy stuff that's left from the world before. Apparently, she even has the Mona Lisa. The next shot is Daryl in a precarious situation. He's trapped in a car by what it seems to be Madame Genet's people. Could be walkers, but if you look closely, the window breaks like someone was shooting at it. Also, we've seen in other trailers that Carol was trapped in a car as well. I don't think it was this one though. Next up, we see Daryl fighting some walkers. Lots of them actually. And then we see the trailer start.
I don't know if this is the place I'm supposed to be.
There's a word in French. Dépaysant. Like a nice change of scenery. Makes you look at things a different way.
The paysan.
Here's the nest with Daryl, Isabel, and Laurent. Daryl's thinking about the past, the ones he left back home, as we see Isabel comfort him. Then here's Carol.
I'm looking for a friend of mine. Please help me.
She's actually looking for Daryl and she has found his bike by the looks of it. She's taking the crossbow as well. I mean, I get it. Daryl wouldn't be Daryl without his crossbow. It seems like Carol is slowly figuring out where Daryl could be. But even if she knows the destination, she still needs the transportation. Because let's be real, Paris isn't the closest place, to say the least. If you're wondering who this guy is going to be, I can tell you as much as this is going to be the guy that helps Carol on her journey to France. So here's the how.
We're talking about flying a plane.
They're about to fly a plane. If I haven't seen Daryl Dixon season 1, that I would be starting to worry. I mean, have you seen Fear the Walking Dead? Season 5? Okay, so here's some context. They were trying to fly a plane and it was effing ridiculous. However, if you've seen the trailer, you could see that this is much better looking.
Across the ocean. No idea what's waiting on the other side.
For now, we can say they've got the looks right at least. I mean, this shot with Carol is amazing. Have you seen the visuals of the show? Please just look, here's a peek. And there's much more to come.
Isabel and I were talking about the three of us going back to America.
Yeah! We'll do everything we can with caution.
I wouldn't worry so much about the future. You don't have one.
Alright, so we see Daryl and Laurent talking about getting back to Alexandria together. Because Daryl doesn't want to leave, but won't stay either. Basically, he's got people here and there as well now. So he'd rather go back with the people he got to know here. For this reason, he is convincing Loho to go with him. At least this is my interpretation. But wait, would you look at that shelf right there? Isn't that the Rubik Cube from last season? That is some nice detail right there. What is more, there seems to be a problem here. Yeah, that's Madame Genie's people. She's actually talking to Daryl about him not having a future. And they decked him. Oh, I have a feeling they are going to regret this. Madame Genie won't even have to wait till next season.
We have work to do.
Okay, so here we get to see Carol landing. Here are the walkers that you've seen before. And you know what? It's a good time for me to make a prediction. So basically what I'm thinking is Ash here is going to help Carol with all these walkers, but in the end he's going to get bit, and that would be the end for him, unfortunately. If you think about it, there are no more shots of him in the trailer after this point, so I believe Carol will continue her journey without Ash at this point. And here are those crazy variants. Moreover, is that Madame Genet? Guys, just look at her face. This could very well be a younger Madame Genet, if you ask me. There are similarities. Either way, I'd love to see a backstory for her character, but we'll have to wait and see. And there's Coron. He's not just pissed, he's hurt as well. I bet Madame Genet and her people weren't petting him for betraying them. But look at that, he's actually missing an eye. He also seems to be in quite the situation here. I actually think these two shots are related. So, could he be sacrificing himself for, I don't know, maybe Daryl and the others inside while these variants are about to tear him apart? We'll have to see. That would be wild. Though I got to say, I was enjoying his redemption arc last season. It was really great and unexpected at the same time. But as we get closer to the end of this trailer, we can see even crazier things. So watch. Yep, that's Daryl pointing out that, hey, I'm kinda locked up here. Would you help? Do you need some help? I can help you as well. So yeah, you can clearly see he has the keys, Daryl has the abilities to fight. So what else do we need? He's actually grabbing that morning star. Those guys didn't stand a chance.
You do whatever it took to find him.
So if I want to break down what is going on right here, I say the scene where he gets knocked out, that's about episode 5-ish. After he gets taken to Maison Mère, I believe this place was called. Just like in season 1, he's going to get held captive and things are going to go south. So Carol will go and find him, try to rescue him from the outside while Daryl is trying to get out from the inside. That could be what we're seeing here.
You keep going.
Then we see some walkers from the first episode. Actually, we can see that from the first 10 or 11 minutes that was released for AMC Plus members. And there is Daryl helping Laurent while they are training, but this shot makes me wonder, what could this be about? I'd imagine that Daryl will reunite with Carol in episode 2. But then, would they be separated again? Or is this prior to that? Because we know they were at the nest. My guess is they might have to flee. This could be a situation similar to the first episode of season 1, where they killed all the nuns and only Daryl, Isabelle, Laurent and Sylvie survived that. So this could go down in episode 1 or 2 and the reunion will take place after this. Then they capture Daryl, and I'll go into further details in a minute. So these two are out and about again. I wonder how Carol will react to Isabel. Those two characters are both very interesting. I feel like both of them are pretending, and the writers will exploit that. They aren't Fear the Walking Dead writers, that is for sure. So I also believe we are going to see these two sides, like Isabel is trying to manipulate Daryl to stay, and at the same time Carol will try to get him back home. And Daryl will have to decide which path should he take in order for that problem to get resolved. Now this here is something you watch this show for. There's no other show like this, no other universe like TWD universe, where they are doing such a great job with these mask designs and walkers in general. I mean, look at how cool that looks. That is something, alright.
Here you are. I should have known.
Now right here, I'm sure this is going to be episode 1 where you'll think Daryl might just get Madame Genet this time. But nope, there's an explosion happening and she gets away. I'm sure this won't be for long though. I mean, take a look at the news, what they've said so far. They said this is going to be the last season with France. So will Madame Genet go to Spain with us? No, I don't think so. Definitely not. Will Laurent and Isabelle go and the rest of the cast? Now that is a more interesting one, and unfortunately I'm gonna say no. And I know that is a bold statement. However, I believe this is going to be only a Daryl and Carol show next season, but the question remains, will they survive? Will they go with them? Am I right? Am I wrong? That only time will tell.
I keep thinking about all the people I left behind.
Also, we know that for season 3, which is now confirmed, they are only going to be in Spain. Moving on, there's a shot of Paris. And now what you want to see is right here, that bike. From the looks of it, they are moving away from Paris. So I believe this is going to be the end of the season. Now this actually answers my question from before, if I'm saying this correctly. But if it's true, and only Carol will continue the journey to Spain, then what are those trucks and cars doing over there? Daryl's got a bike, right? And potentially Carol's riding with him. So why are there another 2 trucks if no one's going with them? Well, it's because they are going with them. Now, they could go with them or they could go to Alexandria for a safe place. This only makes sense if France becomes unlivable by the end of this season, which, if you ask me, could very well be, with all those variants running around. So anyhow, this is going to be interesting.
I keep thinking about all the people I left behind.
Yeah, there is Carol, some more action, and there is the bike. We know that Carol won't be able to get that bike to France with that one plane, so this might be the one that they will use to leave France.
Where's my friend?
Wondering if they're still thinking about me.
There's Carol in Maine, looking for Daryl. We've seen that will be in the first episode. There's Falou and Coton. We haven't seen much of them in the trailer. I wonder what's going on with them. And is that Carol in the center? It's a bit blurry, but it might be. So she'll meet Coton as well. But then I don't think they're gonna shoot him right there. We've seen that shot where he is about to sacrifice himself, or at least that is what I believe is happening. So this might be where he comes to our group to say he's fully done with Genet. This next shot is Isabel raising her gun, which will lead to another bold prediction of mine, saying she might actually raise her gun at Carol here. Because again, if we are looking at the motives here, Carol wants to go back with Daryl. Isabel wants Daryl to stay here at France. So there's going to be a little attempt from Isabel to keep Daryl away from Carol. Is this where we're going? But I hope at the end they will all work together. Other than that, I don't know where her character arc will go this season. We didn't get too much for her. Here's the notorious scene with Carol and Sophia, which is basically their barn scene from season 2 reimagined. I can't wait to see this. They've already stated that there will be these recurring nightmares, bad memories that Carol lived through, and she'll struggle to move on from. I hope she'll get her peace one day by finally forgiving herself and others to move on from these past experiences that won't let her sleep at night. Here's a huge explosion, Daryl and the group, a bit more action, and Daryl Dixon, the Book of Carol thriller ends here. Oh, wait, there's something else. Yeah, of course they had to tease the return of Carol and the reunion.